So yet another trophyless season. You know, we just came from this Bayern Munich against Real Madrid match. And honestly, from my point of view, there are many players that I can blame for this. Many players I can credit, and we're gonna get into it. This was a match we could have won. But let's talk about all the bad players and then all of the good players. So when it comes to the bad players, these are players that I think should either be sold or benched. One of the two. We're gonna start off with, first of all, Vinnie Jr. Now the thing about Vinnie is he assisted Mbappe's goal. That is something we have to look at and say, that was spectacular, that was good from him, and we can't take it away from him. That was a good run from him, a good pass through, and he assisted Mbappe's goal, and that was an important goal. But his performance and his attitude after that goal was what I would say was definitely one of the worst things. And this is a player that is asking for a huge rise in his pay, a huge rise in his salary. Is he crazy? Like, how can you put on such a performance? Yes, you gave a good assist, but further on you did nothing else in the match. How can you ask for a higher pay than Mbappe? And even Mbappe himself doesn't deserve that kind of money. So I think we have finally reached this point with Vinnie, where if it is that he has to get sold, we are not going to be against it. I personally am not going to be against it. If he gets sold, or if he doesn't want to renew, or if Real Madrid don't renew him, I'm going to be perfectly fine with it. For this entire season, he's been inconsistent, he's had some good moments, but his good moments have never been enough, in my opinion, to demand such type of money. A clip that someone posted on X/Twitter in which he was applauding the team for conceding. So they're saying he was like sarcastically applauding the team, and this looks bad. I don't know the true context to this. This could be a lie. Maybe he was clapping at the referee. How about you actually go back and help the defense other than standing there and hope for them to concede? But I don't think he was doing that to be sarcastic towards his own teammates. I think he did that towards the referee because he gave Camavinga a red card. If I'm Florentino Perez, I'm looking at that performance, I'm looking at his impact this season, how he was one of the players pushing for Xabi Alonso to go. He just seems like a player that should leave, maybe go to another club. And the thing about him is, he will prosper in another club. He will put on great performances. But at Real Madrid, it just feels like him and Mbappe, they just don't belong in this team. They don't have the mentality to be playing in this team. Now obviously Vinnie used to have a good mentality, but since Mbappe came in, since Vinnie was robbed of a Ballon d'Or, he completely lost his good mentality. And I think Vinnie Jr is one of the biggest reasons we lost against Bayern for this entire tie. Because if you go back to the first leg, he had a crazy opportunity, an open goal to make it 2-2 and to make the scoreline better for us going into the second leg. He missed it. His next match was against Girona, also put on a bad display. So I think Vinnie Jr, he's definitely someone to watch out for, definitely someone who I think has to go. The next player is Camavinga, in which, guys, I know for a fact all of us were angry at Camavinga. When he came up, I was already feeling in my heart like this might not be the right decision. Maybe put Thiago Pitach on. He's good defensively. He's more awake defensively. Camavinga comes on, picks up a yellow, and then later on does a silly challenge on Kane. Also wastes time with the ball. He gets a red card. So overall, he's just in such a bad spot. And I think he should be sold. No cap, I think he should be sold. His performances this season have been trash. His performances last season was also trash. Yeah, I don't think this is a player that Real Madrid must keep. His mentality and his laziness is gonna always cost this team. It cost us against Bayern, cost us even against Girona, cost us also against Mallorca. So that's why when I hear people say, oh, I was Arbeloa benching Camavinga for Pitach, now you understand. He plays very recklessly and he plays very not smart. He plays like a low IQ player. A few honorable mentions I can make to leave, or just in general bad players. I feel like their performances are inconsistent, but it's not to a point where I say they should be sold. It's Andre Lunin. He's been having a few bad displays. Alvaro Carreras got destroyed against Olise. And then another honorable mention would be Kylian Mbappe. And the reason why I'm saying Mbappe is just simply the fact that we were a successful team before him. But when he came in, we suddenly not successful. Suddenly never winning a trophy. We've not won a single major trophy since he came in. We've not won a Copa del Rey. We've not won a Spanish Super Cup. We've not won a Champions League. Not won La Liga. We've won nothing significant with Kylian Mbappe. And the thing is, I know many of you guys are going to be fooled by his goal yesterday. And don't get me wrong, it would be very hypocritical of me to just say that he wasn't good, to say that his goal was not important. It would be hypocritical of me, and therefore I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give him credit. He was good in the game. He had a good impact. But the past and the future, it's kinda linked, because when Mbappe joined, our team stopped playing good. We are now in 2026 and the team is still not playing good. So it's a very tough position. You know, I will see Bayern in position and him and Vinnie are not pressing. Guys, compare this to PSG and how they play. Compare this to Bayern and how they play. Bayern do not allow the opposition to pass the ball around. They press them until they lose the ball. That's why they kept turning over the ball. That's why they kept on regaining the ball, because of their pressing. I don't know if Arbeloa is telling them not to press to conserve energy. If Arbeloa is telling them to do that, then I think Arbeloa might be the issue. Xabi also tried it. Xabi wanted them to press and they did not press. We've seen sometimes that Mbappe press, but it's just not, he lacks that intensity when it comes to his pressing. This performance against Bayern, it's kind of overrated. Besides Arda Güler's individual brilliance, the score would have been like 4-1, because Arda's first goal came from a Neuer mistake. That was a gift. And then Arda scored it from a very, very difficult angle. Beautiful from him. His second goal was a free kick. This was just pure individual brilliance. We were kept in the game because of one player carrying this team. So did we have a good performance? No. Did we compete? Yes. That is the thing. We competed, but we didn't have a good performance. We competed due to Arda Güler's brilliance and brilliance between Vinnie and Mbappe. Well, actually, that was a beautiful team goal, I will give you that. But further on, if you had benched Arda Güler, the scoreline could have been ugly. Further on, Vinnie Jr was missing. Mbappe missed opportunities that he should have scored. Let's be honest, there was one chance where I think it was Trent who put this ball in. Mbappe catches it on the volley, kicks it straight to Neuer. You know, that is why we brought Mbappe in. We brought him in to score that type of opportunities. He's supposed to be the best finisher in the world, the best player in the world. He's supposed to be finishing that. The positives of this match, I will say Jude Bellingham was a huge positive. You know what? When I was watching the match, I wasn't watching him too closely. But after the match, when I saw his highlight compilation, I realized he was one of the big sources and most hugest sources of our creativity. Not even our creativity, but our attacking play in general. You would win the ball back, run forward, beat defenders, and then pass the ball through. He did that for the whole match. Defensively was good. And you know what? I think we can get the 2024 Bellingham, we can get him back if we drop either Vinnie or Mbappe. So I thought Bellingham was quite good and he was being played more. He was played central, but also a very progressive role. He was getting forward a lot. Then we move on to another positive. I spoke about him already. Arda Güler. Bro, he was getting played as a deep line playmaker. He was played in the Toni Kroos role and he performed so well. That position, him in deep line playmaker, is good. He's good, like straight up. I enjoy him there. He's good there. Maybe it's not his best position, but if you want to put him there, he's gonna cook. And we saw that free kick. He established himself as a big star in the making. He's a big game player. He shows up in the big matches. And for all of you guys who say I'm a glazer and I'm talking nonsense about Güler, do you guys see now? Do you see what I see? This guy has a game-changing talent. Literally game-changing. It's just he needs the minutes. He needs to be played in the good positions. And he needs teammates who's going to support him. The talent is there. He just needs goals. We saw him score 2. The more goals he scores, we're talking about Ballon d'Or. Another positive I took from this match was Ferland Mendy and Militao. Mendy at left back is our main left back and our best left back. I was thought Carreras was better. But I mean, you didn't see Olise destroy Mendy like that. Yes, Olise got a good goal. He scored a good goal against Mendy. And then further on, Arbeloa, I think this is the end for him. It's likely that he's gonna leave. Don't know who his replacement is gonna be, but I think in a future video, we can definitely talk about who can replace him and who can replace him. Like, well, I just said who can replace him, but you get what I'm saying. So basically, our season is done. The World Cup is coming up. But if you enjoyed, smash like on the video because it helps out the channel. It helps me out. Subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Peace out.